Hello you guys, this is going to be a really basic video. I'm not going to put much effort into editing it and showing too many pictures and stuff, and I'm not actually going to read anything that's scripted. I'm just going to be here on the webcam talking to you, giving you my honest opinion straight off the top of my head. So if I say something that's wrong and I take back later, then that's probably the case because I didn't really think about it when I said it now. But this is a video of my top 20 favorite accessories, and this is always changing because sometimes I decide to use accessories more and sometimes I decide to not use them. So at the moment, I wrote this list maybe a few weeks ago, so it has actually changed slightly since then, and it's like whether or not an accessory is very new to me and stuff like that. And also, this is my top 20 list of accessories which I own and have tried out. And if it's an accessory which I've maybe tried out on another server and liked, but I don't actually have it, it's not going to be in there. So the sake bottle, for example, is not going to be in there, even though it would probably be towards the top, because I actually don't have it. I still don't have it. So let's start off the top 20. My number 20 favorite accessory is actually the shit-throwing fuckmonger. Yeah, I'm not even kidding. I do kind of like it now. I hate it so much that I like it. I love to hate it. And my old pal LaurieMoon is always telling me, hey, it's really good, you should try it out, and it's got all these attacks and people can't escape from them. That's not the reason why I like it. It's just every single attack is kind of good. I like the hold X where it's like, wachum, and you go straight forward and hit them. I like the fact there's the sheathed and an unsheathed mode, and the MP is very reliant on that. And it's just got a bunch of great attacks. I try not to use the run special in a way in which it keeps going on for ages. I usually stop fairly early on, just because if I'm holding down the special for too long, that is kind of abusive and spamming. But yeah, I do like it, and it is number 20 on my top 20 list, so, you know, not too high up. Number 19 is the Black Blade. Now, this is one that's probably changed. It's probably a little bit higher now, because I've been using it a lot more recently. It's really good, it's really fun. It doesn't deal too much damage, but it's really fun just to jump around. I use it with the fairy style so I can fly as well. Yeah, and I like the run X, the run C, the jump X, the jump C. Oh, maybe not the hold C. The hold X is really good. Every attack is really good and causes you to move quite a lot within a set space. But once again, it doesn't deal too much damage, so you know, that's why it's a little bit lower on my top 20. I prefer accessories which are like slow but powerful, and you can just stay within a small space and just battle people the whole time there. Number 18 is the Beelzebub Cloak. Now this one is another one where every attack is generally quite good. It's quite strong as well and quite fast. I use it with the fighter style most of the time. I think I've accidentally used it with other styles and it's been just as effective, but Fighter's my favourite with it. I'm not sure why I can explain why it's in number 18 position, so I'll just skip that. Dainsleif is number 17, and I haven't used that in a while, so it's probably less than 17 now. Beelzebub and Blackblade would probably be higher than the Dainsleif, but I like that that is like, it's very default and very basic, but once you use the hold C, and you do attacks that make your health go down, you've engaged in doing that, and all your attacks become much more powerful. But I don't know, I find it really tricky to use now. I did a one-man army with it on one occasion, but since then, I don't know, I don't like it as much as I used to. Number 16 is the Poseidon's Trident. I really like how the hold C and the hold X set up like whirlpools and traps and stuff. The jump special also has traps, so it's like while you're fighting, these whirlpools around you might be trying to hit the enemy, which is kind of cool, and it sort of changes the pace of the battle, where you want people to go, whether or not they can actually move out of the whirlpool and stuff like that. 15 is the Glacial Cav. I like that there's a shield with the lance as well, and there's the hold C, which makes you dispose of the shield temporarily as a trap, and then you fight with just the lance. When you go XXX, you do an attack which goes ice, and then once you've done that, you can easily combo it into a CCC, so I really like it because of that. The specials are also really nice, especially the run special where you go like boom, like that. But it also always glitches where you go through them and it doesn't actually do all those hits on your screen, which is kind of weird. 14 is the Western Holster. I really like that the hold X and the hold C are whip attacks. The hold X can grapple them. I have the inherent on my Western holster, is it an inherent? No, it's a skill where the hold attacks cost less time in order to use, which is really useful. I use it with Android, so every single attack when I use this is ranged. Number 13 is the tennis racket. Now this, back in the day, was one of my top 5 accessories, possibly. Just because it's one of those accessories where I think it's a red ball, maybe even a green ball, and it's like not expected to be too good, but I'm quite good with it. I use it with martial artists, and it's just the default X attack of the martial artist, which is really good. I like the special, which is a serve, the hold X, which is like a ranged thing, and the jump X is almost like using the like the wild club jump X and run X and stuff. Every single attack with the wild club is similar to the tennis racket's jump X, which I really like because it's like you can be here and you will get them. Like you go whoop 'em and you like suddenly move slightly more forward. The tennis racket is a fun accessory that most people just go tennis racket, but it's actually really good, and that's why I like it. Number 12 is the Black Hood Yatagarasu. This is a favorite accessory of Kishiro, or Kenshiro as his username is now, and Kaziru, he likes using it as well. For me, it's not one of my favorites, but I do like a lot of its attacks. The hold X is my favorite, where you go whoom, 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 and then you can like it does quite a few hits, and it also does knockback at the very end as well. What other attacks do I like it by that? Just the normal close range ones. How there's like a slight knife with a lot of the X attacks when you do attacks. Moving on, 11 is the umbrella. Now this is quite basic, but when you do the special, you go into a powerful mode, which is twin swords and a mask. Now I know I hate the twin blades, or the twin dicks as I call them, but with the umbrella swords, when you go into the twin swords mode, it is a little bit different, and the attacks are used in a different way. And because there's a time limit to having that much power, when you go out of being in the umbrella sword mode and you just have the umbrellas, then people can get you quite easily because you don't actually have too many attacks when you've just got the normal umbrella. 10 is the Onimura. Now this is an accessory I wanted for a really long time, and when I finally got it, I actually realized it's quite hard to use because a lot of the attacks make you go lightning, warp, boom, and then you're wide open after you've used a special attack and people can get you from behind. But I think it looks completely badass. I like that there's a charge mode and an uncharged mode, like the shit throwing fuck manga, which is number 20. But this is number 10 just because it's a lot more cooler and not too overpowered in my opinion. Number 9 is the Kratos. This might have gone down quite a bit since I wrote this list, but I like that all the attacks have like buffs and debuffs of the hold X, the hold C, and stuff like that. I like that the X combo has an attack where you go boom, and then you jump behind them and attack them. And some people have learned how to block it effectively when they go block, and then you do the jump behind and they turn around and block again. I know Renshin can do this really well against me. Number 8 is the 7 elemental greatsword, which is an accessory I wanted for a really long time. Finally got it and realized it's not that great, but it actually is alright, especially in the lightning mode. The jump special is a nice attack. The standing special is really good in the fire and lightning and default element modes, because it's like sort of you do a single slash and then it does heaps of mini slashes like Sephiroth's attacks from Final Fantasy. Yeah, and I like that. 7 is the Alistair's Rage. Now this, like the shit-throwing fuckmonger, is another accessory which I love to hate because it's so easy to use. Like the special attack is just like boom, and you lock them into a combo, and it's like and they can't do anything to escape. And it's just generally a really easy accessory to use, basically like the shit-throwing fuckmonger. But it's not too oversized for what it is. It is held with 2 hands. And it's like lower down and stuff like that. So it's not a heated, oversized piece of shit like the shit-throwing fuckmonger. But I really don't like how it's so easy to use. So that's why it's number 7 and not higher. But it is pretty high for an accessory which I love to hate. I'd say it's the accessory that I love the most out of all the accessories I hate. Alistair's Rage. 6 is the Leviathan, or the Levatine, as it's actually pronounced and spelt, I think. But I like that one because it's like you have to use every single one of the attacks in order to unsheath it to use special attacks. So you have to use the hold C, the hold X, the C combo, the X combo, the jump X, and the run X in order to unsheath it and get the sword out. Which I've learned how to do quite quickly and effectively now. I'd say that's one of my favorite accessories as well. I've done, I think, maybe 2 or 3 one-man army videos with that, because it's so good in my opinion. 5 is the full-side duelist. Now, this is so high because it's one of my newest accessories, and I'm still, like, having quite a lot of fun with it. It's quite a tricky accessory, because you do a lot of, like, flips and jumps and all sorts of things in order to hit your opponent. It's very range-based, but you can use it at close range, kind of like the combat ops, if you're sneaky. And yeah, but I like it because it's, like, kind of tricky to use, how you like jump around and move and heaps of stuff, and you get left wide open quite a lot from the attacks, but it's fun to use, and that's all that matters in my opinion. 4 is the Prussian Kaiser. Now here's another one that might be a little bit overpowered in my opinion, because a lot of the final hits of the combos, X's, the special and stuff, while you're in your hold down state, you're invincible and no one can hit you. Like the run special, the hold X, which is that one that takes off a full bar of HP by charging it up 3 times. The hold X of the end of the attack and the hold normal special are all attacks where you're invincible and cannot be interrupted while you're doing it. But at the downside, while you're doing all of these attacks, you have super armor on. So if someone has an attack which does multiple hits, it will completely stack you and ruin you. So you need to be careful in that regard. But it doesn't happen too often, so it's better than it is bad. But it's a giant axe, and we need more axe accessories in the game. We don't have too many axes, if you ask me. Next one, 3, is the Moon'Chica. This is the first accessory in the game, which I saw and went, that's the accessory I want. It was a yellow in one of the draws. I did a ×5. I got the twin detonators. I was like, that's not what I wanted. I got some more credits a few weeks later, or maybe a few days later, I'm not sure. And I got the Moon'Chica on my second ×5. So I got it, and I was like, this is my favorite accessory. I love it. And it's really good. It's just like a basic, heaps of slashing. The special attack is really good when people try to jump over you at the end and stuff like that. It's really good at the end of a combo because people don't expect it, and it's quite quick to use. But yeah, it's just a really good katana, and that's why I like it. And it's the Moon Blade. It's the Moon'Chica, and that's why it's like my sword basically. Number 2 is the Jyuzu-Maru, which back in the day was a red ball in the Mega Draws and nothing else. And I saw it and I went, I wanted it, I want it. I did want it, I want it. And I couldn't get it because I was like, it's in the Mega Draw, I'm never going to get it. And a lot of the accessories in the Mega Draw, like the sake bottle, I've deemed I'm never going to get it because it's the Mega Draw. There's too many other choices to get, so whatever. But one day it appeared as a yellow in the normal small draws, and I think I did ×15s in order to get it, and I got it. So that was a lot of money spent, but I got it, and it's one of my favorite accessories, and I really love using it because it is another one which is like, it's not too overpowered. In order to use it well, you do have to have a degree of skill, similarly to the full-side duelist. But it's not as fun as using the full-side duelist because you don't jump around as much, but it's fun, and I like it, and the counter specials are pretty fun. And my number 1 favorite accessory, you guys already know what it is. The secret case. It's a good accessory. It's a green ball. It's just like the tennis racket back in the day, which was my favorite accessory, or one of my favorites of the time. Now it's the secret case is my favorite accessory because it's one of those ones where it's not, there's nothing going for it really. There's not heaps of attacks that make it dominant. Like when I use it, the C attacks and the X attacks, quite a lot of them are the default attacks of whatever style you're using. And the standing special is also the default style. There's only like the jump special, the last C hit, and some of the normal C hits, I think, which make it its own thing. And so that's why I like it, and hardly anyone uses it. And I like accessories where they're not classified as being yellow balls and not meant to be too powerful, but you can use them in such a way that they are. And I know this is probably counterintuitive to say, as most of my top 20 list is gold ball accessories, but the secret case is awesome and pretty cool, and I just like it because it's like it's not a weapon. Basically, my favorite accessories, which I wish we had more of, are items which normally wouldn't be considered as weapons, which is why I wanted my entry into the accessory design contest to be something that wasn't a weapon, and that's why it's a violin. But it does turn into a crossbow, but it normally looks like a violin, and so because it's not actually a weapon, that's why I think it's a cool thing, and I wish that got made into the game, but who knows, the results haven't been announced yet. But if you saw my top 20 accessory design contest entry video, there are a lot of things which I think are pretty cool, so if I don't win, if they win, that'd be bloody awesome, and I'd like to have something like that put in the game. But yeah, that's my top 20 list. I hope this video hasn't been too boring. 15 minutes! I've been sitting here talking for 15 minutes! Fuck, okay, well, I've got some editing to do. I'm probably just going to show, like, photos of stuff while it's been talking. Well, you've seen the end of this video now, but I've got to edit it in real time now. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. That's my top 20 list, subject to change. It has changed. As I said before, the Black Blade's probably moved up, the Dynslith's probably moved down, the Kratos probably moved down as well. Maybe the full-side duelist as well, but it's always changing, really, of what I have as my 9 quick select accessories, which on the Japanese server is now 2, so there's 18 quick select things that you can choose from. I hope we get that put in our server soon. Anyway, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more videos. Subscribe. I could always do with more subscribers, and you'll come on YouTube, and on your feed it will say, Laurie's got a new video! You watch the new video, and I don't know, if you want to. I'm not pressure. No pressure. Goodbye!